YouTube, this is Kark7428 and this is a video response to Lindybeige. I'm liking your videos so far. I think they're fantastic. I'm just making this video response because I disagree even with one of the things you said about the two-handed sword, that we don't really know how it's used. I've got myself here a two-handed sword. It's just a few notes about two-handed sword first. This, especially this one, if I put the point on the floor, you can see it's not really a proper two-handed sword. This isn't to educate you, Linley. This is for the other people out there who might not know as much about swords. It should be at least this much bigger, really. So it's a bit short. Second thing, it is a cheap replica of the Witch King's sword from Lord of the Rings, which should look like this. Now, as you can see with this one, the pommel's detail isn't quite as nice. The crossguard's detail's not quite as nice. And one of the things that really lets you know that it's a cheap knockoff is, I don't know if you can hear that, I'll get up to the mic. Sword shouldn't rattle like that. If you're ever in doubt and you're buying a sword and it rattles like that, then you know you've got cheap. This one's made better. As you can see, hold it up to the mic again. No rattle. Oh, it's got a nice wooden hilt as well, unlike this one, which is all metal all the way down. You said that we don't really know how these are used. Like I say, with it being quite cheap, I'm not going to be massively swinging it around. We do have the German Book of Fencing, which does tell us a lot about how these swords were actually used, though. And one of the things that they say is that, especially as spears were phased out and stuff like that due to the pike and shot formation, other developments in warfare that made the spear not really a valid weapon anymore, that this became a very versatile weapon, and they'd actually use the great sword or two-handed sword to teach people how to do spear fighting, which is another reason I agree with your spears were probably used underhand, because if you try and use this overhand, it's just not as wieldy. So yes, it was also used to teach a lot of more basic principles as well. Now, in the German school of fencing, one of the things they taught is that the way you fight with this depends very much on your opponent. I don't mean their skill and stuff like that, which obviously you'll be accounting for anyway, if you're a trained swordsman. I mean, if your opponent's unarmoured, then yeah, as you were saying before, two hands on that, and you were saying the figure 8 to get into pike formations, which, yeah, I'm not swinging this about too much, like I say, it rattles a bit. The other thing as well is if you're against an unarmed opponent, the two-hand on there, you take big, broad swings at them. The idea is to keep them away from you. If your likelihood is if you can afford one of these and you've got one of these, you're going to be protected at least by chain, if not by plate. So the distance isn't to protect you from them, it's so that you're getting the full swing of the sword. And anybody who's not in armour who gets hit by a swing like that is pretty much going to be cut asunder. Against an armoured foe, I don't have a glove here, I'll just do it, I'll clean it in a bit. Then yeah, this blunt area as well, the whole blade's blunt, but this blunt area should be longer as well if it was a proper two-handed sword. But yeah, against an armoured foe, against a foe in full plate, that's as well when you'd shorten the grip on the sword. If you take a swing at somebody like that in full plate and you really give it a swing, you're more likely to damage the blade than you are to damage somebody in full plate. Whereas you shorten that, and the German school of fencing taught the whole thing is a weapon. It's not just the blade. The blade's handy, but against somebody in full plate, you've got your crossguard, you've got your pommel. As much concussive damage as you can do to somebody in full plate, try and knock them off balance, knock them senseless, basically using this like a short mace, get them in the face like that, open them up so that you can make your stab, and that is your finishing move with it against plate. So yeah, just a few more points for your full plate video. Anyway, as I say, enjoying your video so far. This is Cark742 signing out.